Hey guys, so I'm here and I'm finally listening to the new Judas Priest album Firepower that came out a few months ago. I didn't have the time to listen to it, but now I'm doing it for the first time in its entirety. So you can check it out here on Spotify. This is what I've been doing this morning, listening to these records. And yeah, just getting ready to leave the house so I can go and rehearse with the band. So yes, let's go and do this. I've been listening to this album, the Judas Priest new one, Firepower. So far it sounds freaking great. I've only listened to two songs, a bit loud here. So yeah, as I was saying, I've just finished listening to a couple of tracks from the new album. It sounds freaking incredible. I think this is the best Judas Priest release in a long freaking time. And now I'm arriving to the studio, just crossing the road, waiting for the car to pass by. We can safely cross. So that was the end of the first half of rehearsal. And now we're taking a break, and this is going to be fucking great, man. So I'm back in my room, I'm back home, and I just received this package. I bought this t-shirt a couple of days ago and it's here. I'm gonna open it right in front of the camera. My first ever unboxing, if you can call it an unboxing. This is actually a Motorhead t-shirt. Have a look at this. Yes, Motorhead forever, man. You see Motorhead here, Motorhead there, Motorhead freaking here, Motorhead everywhere. So what we got here, yes, new Judas Priest album. I mean, what else can I say? I've heard it 2 times now, and it just keeps growing on me. I don't think we were going to get another classic Priest album ever, but I'm glad to say that we have. we just have, even though I'm a bit late in the listening of these records, it came out, you know, a few months ago actually. But the reason I put off listening to it is basically because I didn't want to be disappointed, even though I read and I heard some really good criticism for these records. The same was true for the previous one, and I ended up being a bit disappointed. So I didn't want this to be the case again, and unfortunately it's not. This album is absolutely brilliant. I can't believe how great this band sounds after 40 years of their existence, and I don't know how many albums, definitely more than 15, maybe 16, 17, I don't really know, but you know, I can't believe how amazing this band is. And I've seen them live a few times. Obviously Halford's vocals are a subject for debate, whether they still sound good or not. For me, they still sound great, considering that he's not a young singer anymore. But this really reinvigorated my love for British heavy metal, traditional heavy metal, because I find some of Judas Priest's contemporary bands new releases have been a bit disappointing, you know, lately. So having Judas Priest with a new guitarist Richie Faulkner on board, this is actually his second album with the band. I think he has reinvigorated the band with new ideas, new compositions, new, you know, guitar parts that he's bringing to the table. And unfortunately Glenn Tipton had to step down for the tour because of his Parkinson's disease. So Andy Snip has joined the band on this tour. And I don't know, I mean, probably there's a mixture of all these things that make the album so great. You know, maybe the input from the producer Andy Snip, even though he had nothing to do with the writing of the music, but I'm sure he had a lot to do with the overall sound, obviously, because he was behind the desk when this album was being recorded. So yeah, I mean, this is absolutely a belter, a freaking great album from Priest. And if this is going to be their last ever album, this is the best way to go away and to end on a high note. You know, a career that has spanned over 45 years. You know, we have albums, classic albums such as British Steel, Sad Wings of Destiny, Sin After Sin, Hell Bent for Leather, Screaming for Vengeance, Turbo, which is a very underrated album, but I personally like Turbo quite a lot. Ram It Down, which was kind of alright-ish, and my personal favorite of all time, Defenders of the Faith. That album is just a quintessential Priest. If there was only one album released from Priest and this was it, I would still be a huge fan of this band, because this album encompasses everything that they had been about up to that point, and you know, it sounds a lot better than everything that came after, in my opinion. Obviously Painkiller, which is a very overblown record, which I love personally, but I think there's better albums that preceded it. So yes, I'm extremely excited about Priest, this new record. I can't wait to see them live. I've seen some videos of them touring in the USA, and the production looks great, amazing. This is what they deserve, nothing less, because these guys are truly legends. So yes, I'll just go back to my green tea and keep listening to these records.